How do we start? Do we
Like that? That's
like
exactly
that?
how we start. Are
Wait,
you
no, I'm
recording?
picking my nose a little bit. Yeah, I'm recording. Um,
Excellent. Then that's exactly how we start.
that's all we need. Yeah, that's perfect.
Welcome to the next episode of the Tim and Dylon podcast, ladies and gentlemen. It is about to be June. When you're listening to this, it will be June of 2021. Welcome. I hope everybody is having a good time out there. I am Tim, and I am joined, as always, by my wonderful partner in crime, Dylon.
Hello, I steal things. I'm just slowly shaving more and more hair until I'm just gonna have like a tiny little maybe a Jimmy Neutron swirl, like a Dairy Queen.
I understand.
On top. Yeah.
When do you think you feel comfortable going to a salon to get it actually done? Get your hair did.
I don't know, man. Like we were talking before we started recording about how I'm building a lot of nasty bad habits. I'm biting my hands again, because I fidget a lot, and pushing on my teeth is something I used to do all the time. And I kind of lost all of those habits because of COVID and working in public. So I'm very extra paranoid with a lot of this stuff. And I don't think I will be doing a lot of normal people things for a long time. Friends is like the thing that, okay, now you can start getting to the point where you can make exceptions. Like, all right, well, we both have the first shot of our vaccination, and we both wearing a mask, and we're inside, but keep your mask on the whole time, and like all these extra rule sets that you give yourself.
So when is your second shot?
September 2nd, so it's quite a few months. Yeah, it's way farther than yours was, I think. And I got the Pfizer.
Yeah. I kind of thought it was supposed to be a month.
I thought so
in
too.
between.
Or at least 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something. I don't know if they've
curious as to why yours
changed
is
that
longer.
or if it's just Canada is weird about things. But yeah. I'll take whatever they give me. Whenever they
I
want
would
to
be
give it
very
to me.
curious about that, actually. If anybody out there in TV land has any information on why that might be the case. Dylon doesn't seem to be the most informed about his government's own system, so I'm curious why that would be the case of needing to wait so long between first and second dose, because that is the thing that would make you feel better about actually going out and doing that stuff.
Finalizing,
I have been fully inoculated since middle of March.
Since the inaugural episode.
Yeah, exactly. And, that has enabled me to feel better about some of the things that my work makes me go out and do.
Yeah.
I just got back from a trip to Costa Rica, for example, and
Lucky.
Did have to get tested to come back into the country to be negative, but I felt like that was probably going to be a shoe-in. I got the Moderna vaccine, and that is supposed to be, I think it's 90% effective, maybe 85% effective at keeping you from getting infected. And when you do get infected, it's supposed to reduce the the severity of your infection
of
greatly.
The symptoms and everything. Yeah.
So, I did my safe thing. Always wore masks. Always wash my hands, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And
no eating off the floor.
It helps. Yeah, it's not the perfect solution as of yet. We're getting there. Thankfully, here in the United States, we're actually just hit, I think 50% of the grown public has their first shot at this point.
Oh, wow. That's a big step.
Right, that's a pretty huge milestone. I think it would be nice if we can get that closer to the 75% range. But when has anyone in the country agreed to 75? When has 75% of the country agreed to anything?
Good point. Yeah, for the scope of people that will get it because of their unfortunate affiliations. What do we sugarcoat that?
Some people have unfortunate beliefs which prevent them from being able to see the value in something like that. And more power to them. That's not the conversation that we're having right now. No. That's a completely separate one. But I will say that, for me personally, it has been a sigh of relief for holding my breath for the last year and couple of months. Not too bad.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Anyway,
we're getting so accustomed to this new life. What do we do?
Yeah,
what do we talk about?
I mean, that's it's now the fourth episode.
Doom.
Fourth episode?
Yes. That makes sense.
So, and in every single one of them, we've had to address the current ongoing
Yeah, where
pandemic.
where we're at, and where we're at personally too. Like when it comes to our vaccination and such. So yeah, as of now until the 2nd, I will be only a first doser.
I think that kind of mental check-in is very important. And I hope that everybody who's listening to and or watching this out there kind of practices the same thing, to make sure that you check in with people you love and check in with yourself to make sure
noticing myself like reach out to
you're
friends.
making it through.
Yeah, about just like, hey, I thought about you once randomly today, just trying to make sure you're alive and well. like that's I don't know if it was just all the friendships that I've been in my life, but that's never really been a normal thing unless you're like what we do, like you and I, Tim, we plan stuff, like we get together and do things, so we have to be checking in all the time, but we're kind of forced to think about it more when our brain goes into like our social mode, where we're like, I should be like, I don't know, texting someone or talking to someone or going somewhere, what's going on, and they just kind of oh, you got the Bo Burnham up already. All right.
Well, thank you for go ahead and stealing that away.
Because I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Use your topic to steer into this, because yes, that kind of mental check-in is incredibly important. And what, God, you completely threw off the segue that I was working on. So now, like, I need to reset my brain. So as we talk about things that we've been watching, something that is related to that struggle and how it's represented is actually the new Bo Burnham special. And I don't know if you had seen anything about it.
I have
but
not.
I wanted to put on the trailer and kind of in the background, because it's not really, too much. But it is a very fun show, if not very. There is no sound right now. I'm not sure.
No,
the sound,
yeah.
Dylon is watching it there on his monitor, and you can see that if you're able to see it in the show. But it's a very interesting look at how what I'm going to describe as a consummate artist, because he's probably someone who hates the term genius, though that is the term you kind of want to give to something like this, feels about creating art in a vacuum. And it's very vulnerable, and it's very, this is inside, right? Nope, this is Make Happy. My bad. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't the right thing.
I was pretty sure that was either
there it is.
Flashback or a recap.
Sorry about that.
I did see I did see that I think he tweeted. I can't remember if it was this short teaser, if it was a still from it.
Yeah, I think this teaser was tweeted a while ago. And it's actually not. I mean, as with most teasers, is only partially reflective of course. All right, good to go?
Yeah, we're good.
Excellent. So we, I think the thing that kind of surprised me the most about this special, and I really don't know why it should, is it is incredibly vulnerable.
Very self-aware, and it opens up that path.
Yeah, and as someone who has also had a lot of struggles in the last year or so, it's very interesting to see them so musically articulated.
And translated into that medium, and he's very good at it.
And it's a very, very good watch. It's not a fun watch. It's not uproariously hilarious. It's probably gonna make you feel some things you're gonna be uncomfortable with. But
Tim,
what is art
happy.
if not pushing those boundaries?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even in Make Happy and some of the previous ones, there have been songs that are just supposed to be fun and funny, and like they have a purpose and point. But it's not. Trust me. Without any spoilers, which is what I'm trying to avoid, because Dylon and I are going to watch this at some point soon. It's different. And it's very good. It's just not fun.
Yeah. And
so I appreciate it greatly for what it is.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see where that special goes, and I'm excited for us to watch it together for sure. Was that the thing that you frantically messaged me and said, if you haven't watched it, don't watch it yet? Or was okay. Yeah. And I really enjoyed a lot of his specials. Go ahead. I just want to talk a bit about Make Happy, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, all I was going to say is we were kind of peeling back the curtain a little bit. Supposed to record this on Saturday, and then Dylon got sick. And when Dylon got sick, I was like, oh, well, he might be watching some TV. If you're watching this, don't
just in
either.
case.
If you care, watch it now because it's amazing. If you don't care, wait, let's watch it together because it is something that I think is an important experience, especially for Dylon and I specifically, and some of the things that we have discussed going through in the last year.
Yeah.
Over the course of the last, Jesus Christ, however many episodes that we've shot.
Yeah, seriously. And not to say, just because you made that distinction of if you don't care, don't watch it. Yeah, we'll watch it together. I do just, I tend to put things, as you know, Tim, and as people that follow my various projects that I do may know, I put my excitement forward, my excitement foot forward, and I start every project very excited, and I put my 100% into it, and then sometimes I fall flat a little bit. So I like to curb my enthusiasm, so to speak, and put things, even things I would be excited for, like Far From Home, that for 2 years I didn't watch. Spider-Man, like my favorite superhero, and I finally watched it just because I said, you know what, screw it. So I tend to do that a lot, but I also really enjoy watching stuff with my buddy pal Tim. Look at him, he's so cute with his little face. Unless you're listening to the audio version, then why not become a member? And you can see our faces.
You should do that.
And you can see whatever my next strange haircut will be. Maybe a mohawk.
I think there have been discussions about potential ways to make your premiership more worth it by the possibility of having some special videos that we might want to do premieres with, and you might be able to super chatto in those premieros, and then be able to use your dineros to get super emojos.
And to give us... My Digivice is going off. Sorry,
I thought that was cat bells for a second there.
I gotta be a parent for a second. All right.
Oh my
gosh. I sweep the poop off my
screen. But anyway,
it comes with 2 Digimon.
Yeah, Dylon got himself some beautiful, fun, very trendy items that we might be able to go through together in a little bit, and that'll be really fun. Oh no, I was not talking about that specifically. I was talking about the other thing that we're planning on doing without giving it away. Okay.
Yeah. I spent this pandemic, this last leg of it at least, indulging too much. And if you want to keep these lights on, and
a little bit of that retail therapy.
Yeah, indulging in retail therapy, keeping our
I understand.
Brains afloat here. Yeah.
Speaking of, so I actually sent you this before the show, but I don't think we got a chance to watch it. Let me show you this real quick. I'm debating, and I want to get some people's opinion on this. I'm debating joining this cloud LED trend that's been going around lately.
Okay.
Have you seen this? No, I want it full screen. I want it to full screen. I want the stupid thing to full screen.
I believe in you.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, have you seen this? So this young lady who is putting whole bunch of cotton on the walls with some LED strips under it on some pieces of paper, and then when you're able to program the LEDs to go at a certain pattern, it creates this very, let me replay it again, lightning like strobing effect. Yeah, that's very cool, and it has goes through a bunch of colors or however you want to program the LEDs to run.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's
awesome.
Right? That's kind of neat. And
that is genius.
Something like that back here might be kind of a fun way to change it up in this post-storm world that we're going to be in soon.
Yeah.
I think that'd be kind of fun. What do you think?
As a cute segue, at least.
Oh.
But I do, I do like that a lot. That's very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
It makes me want to try it for sure. And I know I got this big ugly black piece of wood here as my background on this amazing episode. I've been thinking about different ways to kind of spruce up the place, and I am a big proponent of rearranging things when I'm bored. So bored of my phone, change the background, change the layout, away you go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
it's very 2021 to do just a color background with something LED going through it.
Yeah,
and
right?
As much as I love all of my artwork and my hanging shelves here and all of these here, I've got this whiteboard that thankfully the people can't see how many of our goals that we aren't hitting right now.
Hey.
But as much as I love these, it might be time to retire them and put them over here so that just I appreciate them. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it, and I would love to hear what people think down in the comments. Maybe you have other ideas for other LED type things. I saw one where a person took those kind of clouds and then hung a whole bunch of fake ivy in front of it and like fake fernage and stuff. And then like had it kind of, I was like, okay, that's kind of neat and cool. And it's definitely very white woman.
Oh, totally. This is new age. This is the Zoomer version of Live, Laugh, Love. You know what I mean?
But when you're working in this world where you kind of want something really cool going behind you in this YouTube space,
but not too much to distract.
But not too much to distract. Yeah. It is kind of really great. And also, it will drive my cat insane. So I look forward to that.
Oh God, yeah. That's the thing with these fun like DIY projects with anything really technology or arts and crafts, costuming, props. Having cats is very difficult to kind of keep them out, but also happy, because you don't want to just be the bad fur parent, and like lock them up in another room and whatever. You do your sin in the small, tiny, uncomfortable room, and then they get the great room with the trees and stuff. But
exactly,
my version of that recently is having all the soundproof foam up, which is why I'm looking into redecorating the room up. But it's all over the walls in front of where we record, but none of it behind. So you don't really get to see it. So really, whenever we do the podcast or some kind of video content at some point, really all you see is my tapestry and my couch and my various vessels of water, right? That's my props. But yeah, I think you and I should brainstorm some fun things. See what we could do.
Oh, totally.
Maybe vacuum up the fuzzies that are on my socks. We could do that too.
We decorated a whole closet at one point, and then your closet got upgraded to a whole room.
Into a whole room, yeah. I upgraded my bedroom from this den to a giant living room, because who needs a living room to live? I just need a little life support closet, Yeah,
really a little hovel hole.
Yeah, mini fridge,
With Castro closet.
With your Astro Boy gummy fruit snacks.
Wait. Yeah.
I'll take it. Cryo chamber in the back. It's behind the black wood. Yeah. Yeah.
The only bag I've got right now is catnip, and I don't want to accidentally eat that. I didn't pull out a prop. This is catnip with silver vine. I don't know if you've seen this before. It's oh wait. Yeah,
it sounds familiar.
I forgot my good camera doesn't do autofocus without somebody behind the camera telling it to do that, so I would just have to hold it here. But yeah, it's apparently a unique blend of catnip and silver vine that drives cats wild and is more powerful than catnip alone.
Interesting. It's got.
I don't know whether that's true or not.
It's got those sensory inhibitors,
Yeah, I don't know whether that's true or not, but Annabelle fucking loves it, and then she ends up just completely assed out on my bed.
Yeah. And hey, man, that cat on the package seemed to be enjoying it at least. So
exactly, So whatever the case may be,
and cats don't lie.
That's the only prop that I had available to me, so I'm not going to accidentally eat her treat. She'll get very upset at me for that.
I could eat some of the packs of gum that I have lying around because I have an unhealthy gum chewing addiction.
Are you chewing gum right now? You're on camera. I'm chewing
but did you
gum.
Notice? Did you notice though? I had it in the back.
Actually, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed before we started recording, but I didn't I hadn't checked in with you.
Yeah. You didn't do a the tongue check.
Did you swallow it? Dylon?
No, I wouldn't do that. Regurgitate it back up when it's not
No,
looking.
Daddy, I'm a spitter, not a swallower.
Jesus Christ. I was the mods are asleep. I was going for something like that.
Mods are asleep. Show feet.
Oh Jesus!
You just did a minute ago when you picked the fuzzies off.
That's true.
We have officially entered horny hot girl summer, so everything's fine. It's all on the table now.
I guess. So,
trust me. I was just in Costa Rica a couple weeks ago, I was saying earlier, and I can officially confirm that because there are some people, and I mean people, as in both all the genders, that were very confident in themselves. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I am not going to body shame anybody.
No.
Because more power to them. they were incredibly confident in some of their bodies, and it was very fun to notice that everybody just kind of
look at them. Yeah, feel that proud feeling.
It's time for everybody to have a good time, and I approve. I for one cannot wait for the Bacchanalia.
Everybody's living their best life.
So that was an awesome trip, and if you want to see the videos from that, they'll be coming out in just a little bit over at youtube.com/wanderingwolf, and you can check that out.
They're beautiful.
Little side project plug.
You haven't shown me this this much of this trip yet, so I'm very excited to see it.
Unfortunately, there is a bit of lag, and we're working on actually getting that taken care of, so that way, A, I don't have to do all of the principal editing for anything anymore, which would be very nice. And then B will mean that things will be able to be edited closer to when they were shot.
Yeah, because that's always been the treat for me. Is I don't see everything for sure, but I get to see some of the footage and pictures ahead of time, and it's very beautiful.
The videos we're putting out right now in Belize, for example, were shot January 2020, right before the pandemic really
hit. Yeah. When we were talking about it, like, people, is this a good idea? Like, the world's going a little bonkers these days.
Yeah. And it was before even that, because the first story out of 4 people died in Wuhan, I texted Mike on February 6th. Or it was right around then when that story broke. And I was like, oh, we should probably be watching this. This is going to be a big deal.
I don't know. I've never been good with history, but I feel like I'm not going to forget this one.
That's the worst. That is probably the single worst thing I have ever been correct about.
Oh, God. And you've been right about some shit, too.
Exactly. Yeah. But even then, I don't think even I knew that it was going to be a whole fucking year thing. No. Anyway, okay, we keep going back to it because our entire lives are surrounded by this fucking thing. I would love to just get to the conversation that's not about that, and I'm sure the people would too.
Well, I was going, we need a little bit of escapism, but we're also catching up. Like sometimes we got to talk about this stuff.
Very true.
I was going to say, speaking of something totally fun and not what we were just talking about, that was my Sugu. What we've been playing recently. I have been doing a lot of, I'll try to keep it brief because I can definitely ramble about my gaming experiences. I've been playing a lot of fucking Dragon Quest. I played through Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, the remakes on the Switch, probably within like 2 weeks. And
I think you were mentioning the other day that you didn't want to play New Snap because you were grinding away on Dragon Quest actively at that moment.
I had a rubber band on my controller. Yeah, with a
Dylon, you have a problem.
I definitely do. I think it comes from just feeling so inferior in life, you know. And when you play those RPGs, they give you the options, you know. If you can, I'm just gonna grind. I guess you could do that in real life too. We could just exercise a bunch.
You definitely could. I have actually been grinding away a bunch of experience on that Duolingo, learning new Spanish and stuff. I just hit 2,000 XP.
Wow, 2,000. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm now in the Silver League, and I was number 1 in the Bronze League. It's very invigorating
until you realize that some of the people that do the best in Duolingo actually just do it all at the end of the month or at the end of the tier.
Totally.
Which good for them. I feel like you should just be doing it all the time. I think that's kind of the point. But so you're doing Spanish. Are you just doing Spanish?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I've
at the moment,
broadened my horizons a little too far. I have Japanese, Portuguese, gotta brush up, Vietnamese, because my friend's Vietnamese, and French, because I'm Canadian. I should probably know that.
Probably know a little bit. It tends to be spoken in that country.
Once or twice in this great white north. I don't like saying that.
There it is.
I don't like saying it. So just for reference, so Tim, you have 2,000 roughly experience in this like 2 weeks?
I just hit the 8-day streak.
Oh, really? Okay. And you've been doing it every day?
So in 8 days. Yes.
Damn, dude. Now I'm embarrassed. My total XP, because I've been on and off since January 2018, 9,551. So
yeah, I'm catching up to you.
But you're gonna catch up to me. So I think this might actually be a fun competition now. I didn't know
Cool.
how far in you would get to the Duolingo. How if you'd be bit by the bug like I was in that original push. I've had friends that have failed.
My plan for right now is to aim for the same level of competence that I have in French. I'm not fluent in French in any way, shape, or form.
But you can pick up.
But I know enough present tense nouns and verbs to be able to structure sentences and communicate.
Yeah. You could
Like,
help a
actively
lady,
communicate.
a lost French lady in New York, if she didn't speak English.
My goal is to get at least there, proficient, we'll say, that level of proficient with Spanish. If I go farther, that's great. That's, I would love that. But that is my attainable goal that I am setting for myself right now.
Okay.
And I'm getting there. Like, before I went to Costa Rica, I had no idea how to say I have things. And I know how to say I have, you have, he has. I now understand verb conjugation.
Can you say
a little bit better?
I have a, and then whatever noun you're feeling.
Yo tengo un teléfono.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Because L is the, and I want to say I have a telephone, so you use un teléfono instead of telefono instead of el teléfono. You would say, give me the telephone.
I feel like those.
This is me figuring it out in my brain, so that way, like, when I'm actively learning as I'm trying to describe this to you, so that way it cements it in my brain. And I would love to get to the point where I'm not thinking about, okay, telephone, telephono.
You just think
telephone.
in the language. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a really fun flip.
Right. Supposedly, the linguists tend to say when you are able to do that and when you start dreaming in that language, that's kind of when you begin to acquiesce some of that stuff, when it starts to really stick in there.
So let's call that like a 5 out of 10 in like the proficiency scale. So let's say you're a 5 out of 10 in French right now. Or would you say you're there? Like you
I would say I'm about a 3.
Yeah, 3? Okay.
I would say I'm about a 3.
Okay.
Like I do tend to think in French. I do, I'm very good at speaking different languages because of my different dialect trainings and stuff, just with acting and things. It's very easy to sound like I am more proficient than I actually am.
The language of acting we've talked about.
That, accent work and all that shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, it really does sound like I'm trying to pump my own ego here, but it makes learning more engaging for me is what I'm trying to get across.
Yeah,
like
that's the excitement.
Right. The understanding of language that I have been taught has allowed me to better absorb other languages, even at an age when it's supposed to be very difficult to learn a new language. For me, I have found it to be not so difficult because of these tools that I have developed over the years, not because of any talent or anything like that. It's just
Your ability
like
points.
I'm good at remembering things, and I'm good at
see if that
digging things
translates
into my brain.
to like languages that are not formed from the same like base, like not a Latin language.
That's a very
where
good
that
point.
kind of that framework now has to be reset, and you're not thinking in pronouns and
I had a very
masculine,
good
feminine
conversation about this with my grandmother, who got her some kind of business degree in Japan back in the 80s.
Ooh.
And had to learn a lot of Japanese, and we've talked very close about the differences and stuff like that. And that's part of where I get my curiosity for learning and language and, love of just tinkering with stuff and figuring things out and all that shit is from her anyway. So we go into, 45-minute long conversations about the differences between sentence structure in Japanese and English, and it's they're really great convergiants, and I value them very highly because who else is going to care about that kind of minutia other than people like you and me?
Yeah.
Big old giant nerds.
Hey, I left the glasses in the other room intentionally.
Oh, it's not a bad thing. Like, trust me, nerds rule the world, but it's what it is. Like,
especially
you're
during
not
going to
find
like
that conversation
we
with just a
have
random.
so much free time. Like,
yeah,
having Duolingo, having like the blessing of of the 2021 version of the final form that Duolingo has entered, like in 2018, like when I first started, I used it before. I don't know how much earlier in Duolingo's life, but I used Duolingo in the past, and it's been really interesting to see it steadily grow from like this really base foundation where it's just as nitty gritty, like curriculum, educational. Like, I know those words sound all nice and playful and fun, but like the government website version, you know, like the
I understand.
Life brand,
I understand. It doesn't have all the bells
version.
and whistles and
Exactly.
gamifying that it has now.
And
it's kind of
so
just
nice.
flashcards and
storybooks
and exercises
now, and these fun like cartoons, and the Portuguese course has gone through so many revisions, just going back and forth on it. Like,
nice.
I love it.
Yeah, I love the
not a sponsor, by the way. We're just weird.
I wish. God, please pay us money to hawk your product, because I absolutely will.
I'll be an add-on to
but like the audio lessons are really cool because you can just kind of set it on the counter while I'm doing dishes or whatever, and it'll just be playing. And then it has parts where you interact with it and speak back to it and answer questions and engage in dialogue and stuff. And it fills the hole in not having somebody who speaks Spanish natively here in the house with me to be able to engage with and get that kind of immersion a little bit.
Get the mouth feel. You know, quote unquote.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. No, you're exactly right. Because when you're saying in el aeropuerto, you really got to fucking work that tongue to be able to make the sounds properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is a much more active language than English usually is. I get accused a lot of having a very active mouth and having very hard consonants. Yeah. And it's usually because I'm kind of used to having that mouth engaged more in conversation.
Enunciating to project your voice, you know? Like...
Usually for comedic effect. So, or at least partial comedic effect. You know, I don't know why I do that. It was perfectly funny. You chuckled. Why did I have to take away from myself there? Anyway.
No, it's okay. It's this workshop. That's why. We feel like we'll add all the spices, and then we can just like blow some of it off if we need. Dust it off at the end.
Are you being my Salt Bay right now? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, exactly. I was playing Sea of Thieves, and they put that emote in there, the Salt Bay thing. It was unnecessary. The sea is salty enough.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No,
I don't think
we don't need all of the memes.
Anyway,
just a few.
I think I've finished my point accurately enough. I would just be rehashing other things. Let's move on, shall we, to things that we have been playing recently. I've
been peppering it in.
God damn you. The video that released on the channel today is something that I want to talk about next. We released a video on Biomutant, and it was a nice little 40-minute look at Biomutant. I thought it was a really fun video, frankly.
Yeah.
Even with our discussion being of the more critical in nature, I still think it turned out really nice. What do you think?
I think so. It's always a fun balance to think about when you think of people playing games on the internet as like figures in the public, and when we're talking about people that have made a game, like when we played the Dread X collection, we're very honest just about the game. Yeah, we're laughing and making jokes and stuff, and we might be like, fuck this. But when we say, all right, no, listen up. We dig that layer deeper, and we say, this is dumb. This shouldn't be like this. We shouldn't be afraid to explore that. And I don't think we were there, and I don't think we were in there being the Biomutant video, and I don't think we were in the Dread X stuff, trying different games from indie developers. They want that feedback, you know?
Absolutely.
Don't be a dick.
And that brings us to one of the news stories that came out over the last couple of days. Reading an article here from, looks like PC Games in to the nth power. So shout out to them and Dustin Bailey for this article here. Basically bringing up that there was a tweet recently from the BioShock developers stating that they get it.
You said BioShock, which I would love.
I definitely did. The Biomutant dev saying, we're working on an update for #Biomutant, which we will hope to get into players' hands soon. Most likely we'll be able to deliver the update to PC platforms first and then to consoles. The update will include bug fixes and changes based on community feedback. We're working on the pacing of dialogue, narrator settings, difficulty settings, video settings like depth of field and motion blur, loot and enemy tuning, as well as sound and combat.
It's like they watched our video.
That's a hefty list.
Yeah. I know we're not savants. As despite what Tim was talking about earlier about his many brain talents. We just kind of pick at what we know, and we pick at what we are used to experiencing, and things we like in games, things we don't like in games. I think we were very informative, and I think we kind of just rode the wave, with our flow of conversation, where, all right, let's talk about this. All right, let's talk about this. This mechanic's come up now. Let's compare it to other things.
I do hope.
I liked it.
Good. I do hope that that video comes across in a positively constructive way.
Yeah.
But we just commentate on what we saw. Yeah. And B, I think that it's really nice that developers are working very hard to continue to improve that game. I don't know whether a couple of patches worth of stuff is going to be able to improve it enough.
I think because it's a lot of fundamentals. I think it is stuff that, aside from the narrator, because that's like a lot more, maybe a speed and pitch setting, like maintain audio pitch on Premiere, how you can like change the speed and then maintain it, so it kind of gets that feel, I'm
short
talking
of
about
re-recording
hot
an ass
fixes.
ton of dialogue. Yeah, short of re-recording an ass ton of dialogue, I don't know what you'll be able to do there.
On that side, yeah.
On them. But who knows? In 2 years from now and $20 off from now, it might be worth it once they are able to get across a lot of these fixes that the community is asking for. Because from what I understand, if you can look past exactly all of the things that we described as not great, the gameplay and combat feeling sluggish, the story feeling, the narrative feeling incongruous with your gameplay. If they can fix all of those things, apparently the game itself fleshes out rather well once you get into the open world.
Once you get that.
But it's just getting past that first 3 hours of the game.
Where you're getting piece by piece instead, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot to ask of a gamer in 2021.
It is.
It used to be the case where like you've got to sit through 3 hours just to get to the beginning cutscene of Final Fantasy. But
we know Final Fantasy.
This is 2021.
Yeah,
And this is a brand new IP that hasn't earned that kind of pedigree and relationship and good faith yet. So I hope that they are able to get across some awesome fixes, because it does have a lot going for it.
I think so.
We'll just see what the future holds for that game.
Just seeing it aesthetically, like that teaser trailer opening thing is a very cool concept, and I feel like what we got from that concept was very fun, and I feel like it was a lot of people going, oh, what if we did this? A lot like, I don't know if you played it, and I didn't either, so there's a lot of hearsay, but Ghost of Tsushima.
It
was made to be like a Kurosawa film. Is that correct? Like a love letter, but it kind of falls flat in a couple different ways. I feel like it's a lot like that. Like
I see.
The
No, I haven't played it myself, so that would be
something that's like a love letter to
believe it.
Animal mascot.
Even Sekiro had
like
stumbling
Sonic.
points,
Those kinds of games. That kind of art style, art direction, like a Ratchet and Clank style character. Like, I don't know. It's just it was very close. So I think, based on what we talked about and how we talked about it, I think them inching closer will be something very exciting to keep track of. So
I agree.
I'm excited.
And it's funny you actually bring up a lot of those PlayStation mascots, because as it turns out, we got a lot of pre-E3 news to go over. Dylon, we've got genuine news here that we are breaking to the public.
I won't know what to think yet. I need to check Reddit first,
I know.
Tim.
It's okay. This is called formulating opinions, ladies and gentlemen, and you can do it in real time.
I don't believe it.
So our first item up for bids here. We've got a lot of rumors that are still continuing to come out about this new Switch.
Hey.
Are you looking forward to a brand new Switch?
Me personally, I assume you were talking to me.
Yes.
Yes, because of my specific use case. You do it a lot. You talk to the audience and they retort. My specific use case of someone that got the launch Switch, plays it a ton, wants to play it better. Wait, let me do. Oh, never mind. We didn't set that up. I was gonna do the Zoom better that we talked about beforehand. We had software fun ahead of the show recording.
That sounds incredibly dirty. And
we did software fun. It's better than hardware or firmware. Tim, come on. But yeah, me specifically, yes, super, super excited for the general Switch buyer that might not have a Switch yet. Maybe normal model, maybe Switch Lite, maybe the Pro if you really want to invest in it.
What,
you know what I mean?
So have you heard anything about the features that would be changed?
Nothing real and nothing conclusive or concrete yet. And I tend to, just like with things I am excited for, this being one of them, kind of, okay, yeah, it's rumor mill stuff. Yeah, like I'll think about that later. I'll think about that when something is more concrete. But yeah.
Well, if you'll indulge me for just a moment,
absolutely.
A lot of these are coming from mercantile places where listings are getting put up prematurely, as is often the case with leaks that become actually confirmed.
Yeah.
So what we're seeing right now from this new Switch Pro that will come out is unfortunately not as much as I would want, but still a decent amount of upgrades under the hood. It's supposed to have a slightly bigger 7-inch screen.
Okay.
I think the current one is like 5 and change.
Yeah, this is about 5.5.
Okay, yeah.
My phone.
Current.
Wait, what's
Switch.
your phone size? Your
Oh shit, I don't know.
Your 11 Pro.
I just upgraded.
Max?
I just got
I
just got a 12 Pro
Max.
Max.
Shit.
Okay, so the Switch screen size is 6.2 inches, so it'll get 0.8 of an inch, which, as any man will tell you, is plenty. And it will also have a slightly better dock.
Okay.
The dock is supposed to have now 2 USB 3.0s coming out of the side of it, as opposed to just the one, and will also include an Ethernet port.
Whoa! Type-C adapter?
I know. Probably not. Unfortunately, no. But it's supposed to have a slightly better graphics card inside of it that will enable it to do 4K output when docked, but only 720 while handheld.
That makes sense.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah. I think what's going on is,
how does that make sense?
We're gonna quickly see. Okay, so this is just my crazy brain, but run with me. We're gonna see gaming hit a weird space where you have, just like when you go in your NVIDIA settings on your graphics card or something, you have your output display resolution, and then you have your render resolution. So I feel like this is going to be, we saw a lot of, not frame interpolation, whatever that SS super sampling thing is that they can do.
Sure.
We're going to see 720 games, just like the normal Switch, taken from handheld to docked, go to 1080 roughly. And then we're going to see some kind of boost in performance there that might bring it to, let's say, 1440 texture resolution. You know what I mean? Some kind of improvement.
It's supposed to be full-fledged 4K.
And then have some kind of super sampling, upscaling on things that don't have that support. You know what I mean? So your TV's not changing settings from 4K, but you might not be getting a true 4K rendered to 4K. You might be getting 1080p upscaled to 4K or 1440 upscaled to 4K or something along those lines.
You're probably right.
That's all I can fathom.
My theory as to why it's only 720 in handheld, if it's going to be capable of doing 4K in docked mode, is that number one, they finally fixed the issue with the battery discharging faster than it charges.
Okay, which is an issue I have not had, but
it's an issue I have constantly.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard from certain people like, yeah, that happens all the time, or no, that never happens.
And B, they have the chipset inside of the Switch will be capable of doing that processing even when it's handheld. But the battery life while doing so, the power draw while doing so is so great that the batteries would be like 30 minutes. It would be like a Game Gear, essentially.
Yeah.
That's my guess. It has to whir up so many new processes inside of the Switch that it's only capable of doing that kind of backbreaking labor inside of docked mode. because the batteries can't handle it, can't discharge enough power, can't discharge power for long enough, whatever the holdup is.
Yeah.
That's the resolution change difference in my mind. Because
Interesting.
handheld mode is supposed to be 4 hours or longer. So a good artificial way to do that is to limit the resolution
Even
and
though
make it so that it,
Yeah.
even though it could do 1080, it would just be a 2-hour battery life, and people would be like, "Oh my God, the new Switch only has 2 hours of battery life."
Yeah.
Because that is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, they would totally be justified in saying that. They would definitely look as silly as I just looked, but they would totally be justified because 2 hours on a handheld console is kind of ludicrous, especially considering how long it actually takes to charge.
That's fucking Sega Game Gear. Yeah, like that's
Exactly.
we don't want to go that direction.
No, it's literally Sega Game Gear. And so
But, like,
I think to
wouldn't you just be
avoid
able
those
to plug
comparisons,
it in while you're holding it, or you're saying there's some kind of power magic, smart people thing.
I hate that stupid Switch and its stupid charge port being on the stupid bottom of the stupid console.
I want to rest
Because
it.
you can't rest it while it's plugged in. If you hold it while it's plugged in and you're holding it in your lap, you've got a plug sticking right into your gooch hole. And I don't really care who you are. That ain't comfortable.
My gooch hole's on the front too. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
So that actually brings me to one of the other rumored changes, that the stand on it will no longer be the little kitschy pull-out kickstand.
Oh, God,
It'll actually
thank
be
God.
like a Microsoft Surface level flap.
Surface laptop.
And as
yeah.
somebody who has a fucking wallet phone that does exactly that,
Yeah.
like that's probably going to be really nice.
You do enjoy that feature. Yeah, it is nice.
I do.
You know something
We'll
I just
see.
realized? Have you used those rings that go on the back of your phone? I don't have one, but imagine it's
No, I have not.
But when it's almost like a pop socket thing, but it's like a
Yes.
So when I would get them from work or whatever, like with the little logo on it, I would put them on and I would use it as a stand. Like you have the little coin flap there, and you put it down. I'm doing visuals for the audience, so imagine the coin is just like on the back of the phone, and then you kind of flap it face down, and that's creating that little tent shape that holds up the phone. Now, the way you're actually supposed to use those rings is by, again, pretend you have a coin on your phone, having the rim of the coin hold the phone up because of the shape. It's supposed to be flat. The coin, the edge of the coin is supposed to be just a little bit flat instead of perfectly circular, perfectly curved. And that is supposed to hold it up kind of in that shape there. Does that translate? Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like it'll work at all. But it
doesn't,
makes sense.
but it does, because it's holding itself up like against the phone instead of having that hinge system that wears off after however many swivels. You know what I mean?
And it might be the case that the increased surface area of the bottom of the thing, like having to go this way as opposed to this way, basically. Yeah. I think that probably has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I unlocked some new physics engine or something, and now it works all of a sudden. So
you're an Earth 3.0 over there.
Yeah. I'm playing God Hand, but it's just
using
my
that Unreal Physics 5.
5, yeah. Ray tracing soon.
And so one of the so that brings us to the next set of things that I wanted to talk about today.
Yeah.
There were 3 big pre-E3 reveals that came out over the last week or so. One of which is the little preview. It was like a 20-minute gameplay preview for Horizon Horizon Forbidden West.
There you go. Yeah.
The sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, which I am currently playing on my PC for the second time since it originally came out on the PS4. And oh my gosh, it looks so beautiful on the PC, and I'm so pissed that Forbidden West will not be released on the PC for at least 2 years.
Yeah, for a while. Was it confirmed the exclusivity of it?
It is, at least for now, exclusive to the PS5, yes. I don't know whether eventually it will come to the PC. I'm sure it will. Because Sony has had a lot of success with porting things over with
Bloodborne,
Zero Dawn, and Death Stranding just came over from the PlayStation that was exclusive for a while. Kingdom Hearts 3 just landed on PC and is doing gangbusters.
I haven't looked at any numbers, but that's a very interesting place for Kingdom Hearts to be. I don't think we really spoke on it much.
There have been a couple of other really big, like PlayStation formerly exclusive titles that have come over that are skipping my brain at the moment. But those are very good examples, I think, of successes for Sony porting their games over to the PC platform. So I hope that encourages them to get other developers to do the same thing. And considering how much people enjoy the port of Horizon Zero Dawn, I'm sure it's just a matter of time. I'm sure it's just a matter of time. But I don't want to dwell too much on that particular one. Basically, Forbidden West takes you to San Francisco as opposed to center of America where you were before. Okay. And you encounter a whole bunch of new machines and new combat abilities, and looks like the game's going to be absolutely stunning. So I have nothing really to report other than I look forward to actually getting to play it when it comes out.
Other than it looks great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I look forward to spending time with my girl because, as everyone knows, Aloy is Baloy. So it's going to be a fun time getting back with my girl. I think Ashley Birch does a amazing job with that performance.
She's great.
And yeah.
I really enjoyed my brief stint with it. I borrowed it from my friend on the PS4 when he first finished it when it came out, and I rushed a bit so I could get it back to him before he moved. But yeah, I love that game, and I'm
looking forward to what I'm trying to do right now is get the game progressed to where I was before, which is beating the original game, so that way you and I can go through and play Frozen Wilds, which is the DLC, the story-based DLC that was brought out for Zero Dawn. I never got to play that, so I don't know what that all entails, and I think it kind of continues the present-day story. The story of the world kind of gets solved in Zero Dawn, and it's really great. Like, if you have not played that game, now I'm talking to the audience. If you have not played that game, you really should do yourself a favor and do that. And if you like sci-fi stories with lots of twists and stuff, it's just a wonderful time. And some of the acting in it is superb, simply superb. This side of Remedy games and Control and Alan Wake, like, it's really into the performances of stuff. And if you kind of buy into it, it's great. It's great. So that kind of brings us to the second one. Which Dylon and I actually got to watch together here just a little bit ago. Far Cry 6 is coming out in a couple of months.
It was giving me some... I've been out of the Far Cry game for a while, but it was giving me Just Cause vibes, like that kind of crazy destruction. They're really leaning into that
yes, very much so.
For sure.
But. And it seems like with this one in particular, because you're going up against an entire Cuban army, it's giving the game a lot of excuses to give you a myriad of huge weapons, big flamethrowers with a backpack, like backpack
did it say she's making them
rockets,
now, or someone's making them for her? But they're just going nuts. With
she does have a queue, yes. Yeah, so somebody is helping her make them, but it kind of looks like they're working together to make them, and you know, you're playing as a girl named Danny Rojas, which is my favorite name because Danny Rojas!
Danny Rojas!
Football is life!
It is.
And I'm going to have a lot of fun with that.
And the revolution.
So, oh, yeah. And, of course, the not Cuban revolution. So I think that game's going to be stellar. It showed off a lot of really cool mechanics. I think there's like a 40-minute video that's available on Ubisoft's YouTube page, but the content is only about 15 of that.
Oh, the thing that we watched? That was weird, man.
Yeah, go look down in the comments and you'll see the timestamps to be able to click on it to skip right to it, because that's weird. Why would you do that? That's weird.
A thing.
Edit your VODs.
Yeah,
companies.
Seriously.
Edit your VODs.
The timeline on a YouTube video is a very interesting, almost gameplay mechanic. When it comes to doing Let's Plays or just watching them or watching anything really. But that has been my biggest hurdle when it comes to things that, like, ideas for series or whatever that I have, things that could be a little bit more random or things that could be a little shorter if we don't do very well, or things that are way long if we do very well, like a Risk of Rain type of horde mode. And I really like the idea of being able to hide the length of the video. from the audience, and I think that
I know what you mean.
that they should have done that. They should have hid it from me at least and made me excited the whole time. And then once the presentation finishes, it's just like, that's it.
That's it.
That's really it. Oh,
what's the? Oh, okay. I guess we're done here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can all go
exactly. And then you just literally watch the watch time drop off completely. Which, speaking of not as much time watch as you might like, that brings us to our final presentation, Sonic's 30th anniversary presentation from Sega.
I've heard of those Sega boys.
Did you see anything about this by chance?
I have one tidbit, only one. You gave me another little hint earlier, but I already forgot it. So this is good. But my one tidbit was I heard Sonic Colors is getting a remake or something.
Yes,
and that's exciting.
So there were a couple of little notes here that I had about what was coming up, and starting with Sonic's doing a bunch of collaborations, which you can basically run around in Tokyo 2020 Olympics as a man in a giant Sonic costume, which is exactly as hysterical as described. 2 Point Hospital. Okay. The mobile game will allow you to play with Sonic characters. And Lost Judgment, the upcoming not Yakuza game from the Yakuza people.
Oh, yeah.
Will have arcade machines where you can play Sonic Fighters.
Hell yeah.
I think it was, yeah.
Classic. I don't know if this was something from way before.
But it's Lost Judgment. I can't wait for it.
What's that? Oh, of course, as soon as you're drinking.
Yeah, I was just saying that Lost Judgment is a game that I absolutely can't wait for because it's the next game from the Yakuza devs that's not a Yakuza game.
But it's the same gameplay style, maybe, of Yakuza.
And for the purposes of the channel, like, jumping into Yakuza 7, it's not really a great place to start. So I'm glad that there's a brand new series with the same kind of people and brilliant minds behind it to jump into.
And if you want, I talked about it a few episodes ago, Yakuza 0 and Kiwami something. They have a bunch of them now.
I was so in love with Like a Dragon that, frankly, I would almost just fucking start there. But, that's me, again, seeking an excuse to jump into a series that is kind of overwhelming. And
trying to make it more accessible for yourself,
Right, and very much resisting going into the deep water because, well, I'm just learning to swim, man. Don't drag me in the deep water. I'm just learning to swim.
So, difference between Tim and I. This is how Tim does his gaming. He goes, oh, man, that's a big series. I'm going to play the newest, most accessible, best way to try it. Dylon, when he goes to try a series, okay, I've played one of them. I'm going to go back to the first one and go through all 10 Dragon Quest games.
I'm going to go back to JoJo's Part 1 and power through the worst part of it. It is.
Okay.
It is.
I think
it's
that
objectively speaking the worst of the series.
The official subtitle should have been the jank ass old English subtitles that I had because it was so funny because when he throws his belt as a whip to kind of Castlevania to like himself. That's a Spider-Man thing. I don't know why I said Castlevania or
that's
Indiana Jones. I'll go
by
with
the
that too. But he says, I require length. He says, I require length. And he throws it and he hooks and he swings. And I can
see how that would make it better.
I think it was even called Horrible Subs was the name of the thing.
But,
like the person that uploaded it. But yeah, watch it with that.
It's still not as good as Part 3. Sorry.
Or Part 4.
Sorry. I mean, like it's just every series is like that. I can't think of many TV shows where season 1 is better than season 3.
Unless it really... Nothing that
right,
would have
exactly.
so
Unless
many
it crashes and burns hard.
Yeah.
Or is just brilliant straight out of the gate. Some British TV is just brilliant straight out of the gate and then only does like 1 or 2 series and they're done.
You referenced it earlier. Danny Rojas.
Oh, yeah. Which, God, Ted Lasso season 2 is coming out.
I'm so excited. I'm so
middle
excited.
Of this month?
Is it this month?
I think it might be, or maybe it's July. I don't care. I'll look it up later.
Yeah.
We're already running long.
We got so many things to look forward to. Ooh.
I know, seriously. And so the next Sonic thing was that they announced the Sonic Colors Ultimate, which is a remake of Sonic Colors.
Which I've never played, but I heard is really good on the Wii.
It'll have a matching cartoon. If you're into that sort of thing.
I think that's very smart.
Sure.
I think that's very smart. Yeah.
Oh, totally. I mean,
it's like
make
when
all
you
that
see,
jingle bangle.
Absolutely. It's like when you see the let's see, like a vanilla, the second game in a trilogy, the vanilla version of it goes on sale like on everything, and it's like on every Humble Bundle, whatever, and then the next month it's free on Game Pass and whatever, and then a sequel gets announced, and you're like,
Gotcha.
or DLC,
You crafty bitches, yep. And then they also announced a new Sonic Origins kind of multi-pack, which has Sonic 1, 2, Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic CD kind of all
Very
packaged
smart.
together, because Sega is all about making you buy the same game over and over and over again.
But Tim, when you get a
I'm
new
just calling
console,
them like I see them.
No, I totally get it. When you buy a new console, it happens rarely these days, but the first thing you stress at is my whole library. As soon as they turn off that
Skyrim
store,
again.
As soon as they turn off that digital store, all my shit's gone, you know? Or as soon as my console breaks and they stop making this one, all my shit's gone, you know?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Which is part of the reason why, even though a digital ownership is very convenient, I'll never be truly 100% behind it, because I don't own a disc for most of the games that I have. And if the entire world crashes, I want to be able to play Resident Evil 8.
While Resident Evil 8 is happening around me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I want to at least be able to, like, get Banana Bell on the generator and make her run a little bit so that I can play my video games for a hot sec and not have to worry about connecting to Steam servers.
You know what? I heard Soulja
will
Boy
have
is
died.
actually, he's coming back to the video game console market. He's
really?
gonna make, he's going to make his offline console that has a 500 terabyte hard drive, SSD, of course, and it does exactly that. It has a crank wheel on the side. When the power goes out and Resident Evil Apocalypse is happening around you, you could just say, "Hey Tim, can you crank that Soulja Boy for me? I want to play some games."
My God. Oh my fucking God. I can't believe. God damn you. I can't believe how much leather there was on that fucking shoe to get all the way around to a crank that Soulja Boy junk. You fucking. So Sonic has mobile games. I don't know if you know this. Sonic has mobile games, and there's a bunch of shit that's coming to those, and they're awful. I can't hop mobile.
Can you hit me with one?
So.
Like, what's a Sonic mobile game that's not just like Mario Run?
Sonic Racers, I think they have, which is the Apple like arcade title.
Racers
that you
Transformed All Stars or something. Yeah, I'm familiar with that one.
I think they also had a free runner on there as well. But anyway, then they've got like cool characters and costumes that are coming to these free runners that they have on mobile.
And sorry, real quick, I was going to mention earlier, it was announced, I think, months ago, but it's a similar Sonic crossover thing. He's in Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 as a character. We have to play that game at some point. It's adorable. I have the first one. It's so cute. It's so fun.
Sure.
It'd be a cool.
I played Tetris, but I've never played Puyo Puyo. So
yeah, and we can mix and match. Or it's just like a bubble fucking whatever. We can mix and match, or you can just do, all right, I'm going to play Puyo Puyo, you play Tetris, and we'll go against each other. It's very fun. Anyway, back to Sonic.
And then the last thing that they teased, one more thing that comes. Oh, wait, there was a bunch of like Sonic merch. And I wanted to mention this. If you could make sure that you pull up, actually, let me see if I can find, I'd have to like go through the whole thing. If you could pull up the picture from towards the end of the conference of, they had a bunch of Sonic jewelry that was being made by a diamond encruster. And so it was like Sonic's head made out of blue and white diamonds with fucking black jewels in it for his eyes. It is, and I don't say this lightly, ludicrous. Because I guarantee you're going to see him wearing one before too long. And it's got Knuckles and it's got Tails. And I think it's even got Amy in there too. And I love it. I love that exists, but it exists and it's hilarious.
Does that give you Lightning Farron from Final Fantasy 13 becoming a Louis Vuitton model vibes?
Yes, 100%. 100%. It's what happens when nerds get goddamn money.
Yeah.
Like, I am so proud that something like that can exist, because it means that we are taking over the world. and as as insane and exorbitant and out of mind you would have to be able to get something like that.
You have to be in some kind of fantasy.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great that it exists. I can't deny that. And then there were like also Sonic commemorative coins and
all
Sonic
the
comic collections and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then they had the one more thing, which was actually a tiny teaser like of Sonic running through in a CG fucking cutscene world that is supposed to be a teaser for Sonic's next big game. An open world game that is rumored to kind of take inspiration from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
so there'll be a lot of towers and apparently a Korok stand-in.
And no running
Probably
at all.
Chow.
Yeah.
Oh, I guarantee you're running a lot, which is why they made it open world so you can actually kind of run. But that doesn't mean
hit me with a Chow
you're
garden.
Not gonna,
hit me with a 2021 Chow garden. You know,
it can't be dense and
shit,
be made for you to run through.
It would have to have pathways.
The speed of sound.
It would be basically a glorified gummy ship map in Kingdom Hearts, where you're flying around the overworld and then.
You would have to do the Skyward Sword thing, where there was a different floor of the entire world that's made specifically for you to just be able to get fast from A to B. Like instead of fast traveling, you have to go through a Sonic level to get to somewhere.
Gummy
you know what
ship
I mean?
style. Yeah.
Yeah. Gummy ship style. Exactly.
Maybe he throws rocks or something.
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? If you get to play a Shadow, of course you're doing shooting.
of course. And I hope it's like the Skyward Sword remake motion controls, you know, like you got to aim it. It's like Link's crossbow training, but it's Shadow's first Glock.
Love it. People are pretty sure that it's going to be called Sonic Rangers at this point because there was a leaked 4K version of the trailer. People, of course, do what the internet does and dug down into the metadata for this thing and discovered, in fact, that it is entitled Rangers Teaser BG, and then there's Rangers Sonic T, which I assume is Sonic Teaser, not Sonic. Although, would you drink Sonic Tea?
I would play a mobile game where Sonic runs a cafe.
Hey, that would be kind of cool.
I'm just saying.
A cafe. And then, of course, Sonic Rangers all over the place. So, and there was also like a 4chan post from back in January that got then brought back up in let's see, May 27th. So yeah, a couple days ago, where somebody said they focus tested this shit last year. So yeah, here we go. Shit was rough, but hey, it's Sonic Team, so not surprising there. And it looks like it says stuff like open world gaming, woo, Ubisoft towers with annoying ass Korok ripoffs. I'm assuming those are Chow. Story revolves around a human ? Ghost girl thing. Enemies, puzzles, bosses sprinkled throughout the world. Beat puzzles to get orbs. Use orbs to unlock portals, which is kind of Crash Bandicoot style.
With the wording, yeah, but still definitely Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Portals lead to Unleashed style levels. Best part of game, LMAO. Signature move in this game called the spin cycle. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of rumors around right now.
That's also my signature move at the laundromat too.
True.
Yeah, it's cold
we'll
rinse.
see what actually comes about with that because it was still saying that it's going to be 2022 before any of that gets released. So will we hear more from actual E3, which is just a scant few weeks away? Who knows?
I like that you were brave enough to call it actual E3, Timothy.
I mean, well, this companies are taking it upon themselves to just make announcements in this new digital world that we're in. So we can kind of consider this to be around the release window for E3 to take some of video game's own parlance, you know, a little bit before, a lot of it after,
what do you call
it's
all
season? Around. Yeah, this
it's
exactly.
Teasin season.
It's Teasin season, baby. That's the title of the episode.
That's amazing.
So,
that's amazing.
I think that's a great place for us to start to wrap things out.
Yeah,
what do we got coming? What do we got coming for the people, Dylon?
For the people on the channel?
Let's do a little Teasin season of our own.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to suggest, so if you want to actually pull up a channel, we can do it before or after. But we talked about an improv game if you want to end the episode with one. I was watching some improv game clips, and I saw one that was very fun.
Sure.
Why not? Choices and stories. and I have
Okay.
repurposed this game somewhat to work for 2 people.
If you want to take away the perfect ending to the podcast.
No, so what I was
fucking
going to
nailed
say
it.
is we can do our like round off wrap up, and then we can do the game at the end for people that want to stick around.
Okay, sure. However you want to do it.
Tim's like, I'm so fucking hungry, man. What do you think? Do you want to do like
seriously?
I am
it's been
too.
quite
I'm
a while.
growling.
And
do you want to release it as like a separate video?
yes, let's
Yeah?
do that.
Okay, perfect. Because I'm hungry, and that's how this schedule gets made.
Christ.
I'm starting.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Now
it's so weird because we got so freaking far ahead that I can't even tell like what's new and what's not. But we did a butt ton of Resident Evil Village. I'm very excited for us to play more and for people to see, because I think once an episode we have a what did I say? Ablution in the Human Solution. We get like those level jokes in these episodes. They get very fun. And then a secret thing that I don't know if we've talked about in any content yet, but we are going to be playing Super Mario Party now that we have the online mode. Very, very exciting. I'm working on I call it a hot fix. I'll call it a cold fix now because it's taking a while. I've just been procrastinating. I really need to get it done.
It's definitely a cold case. It's been longer than 48 hours.
Yeah. But we will be playing through as much as we can of that game because that's a romp. Very, very fun.
And for those who are listening right now, people who are watching can actually see the episodes that we're going to be releasing. They have a tease that you don't have right now. And if you want that tease, ladies and gentlemen, it's very simple. If you want to support the channel and what we do around here, all you got to do is go to youtube.com/TimandDylon, hit that subscribe button, hit that join button, and make sure that you stick around to watch the videos. Give us some comments down below if you think that we're doing a good job and you want to tell us how good we're doing and how awesome we are at video games, which we definitely prove every single
You're very positive. Very
episode.
Oh, it's just a spark of life.
Every single episode. Every single episode.
Absolutely. Here, we'll play a little game with the audience as we leave. Everybody, close your eyes if you're listening to the audio version. Tim, you can do this as well. This is what. Close your eyes, Tim. Tim, close your eyes. Keep them closed. Okay. This is what it's like.
I can't kill you with my eyes if I keep them closed.
With your laser vision. This is what it's like to just have the audio version. Okay, now open your eyes. This is the video version of life. Welcome. Isn't that what you want? This could be you.
Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you back here next month for some more shenanigans. And thank you for listening. If you're listening to this on your podcast app, make sure you spread the love around to your friends. We want to make sure that we are inside as many holes as we can get in. Ear holes, brain holes. If you want to put your earplugs in your nostrils, I'm not going to stop.
Oh, I'm doing something.
We'll see you back here next time, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.
Oh, audio. Bye.